Hi, in episode 85, we will be talking about where can I get my macroeconomic data of the Eastern Caribbean, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, and Curacao. So, I'm debunking the myth that there is no data in the Eastern Caribbean, in Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, and Curacao, that you cannot do your economic analysis. And during the past days, I have been doing this daily. So if you want to know where I want you to send you to get the data, then stay with me in this episode. Hi, welcome back to the Data Analysis and Policy Show, the show where we turn data into analysis so that you can create the right policies and you can write the right policy notes. So if you are the first time here, I want to tell you I'm debunking the myth that there is no data. I have decided to every day during a couple of weeks present you data about the Eastern Caribbean, data about Curacao, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica. And the reason is that most of my students, they ask me, where do you get data? Where do you find data? How come that you can do all this kind of economic analysis? And I am going to show you today how I do it. Before I start, I want you to get on my list, which is a waiting list, CaribbeanStrategicBoardroom.com/waitlist. And when you are there, you are raising your hand saying, Rooney, what I have in store for you, what I'm preparing right now, which is really interested. I am interested to hear more about it. So it is free right now. You can get to the community. The community is of the high achievers. I only want people who want to achieve things in the Eastern Caribbean, people who are focusing on the future, people who are data driven, people who want to create policies that transform the Caribbean. If you don't know me, I have been working 24 years, almost 25 years in economic analysis, data gathering, and policy writing. So I'm an economist in the Caribbean, I'm an economist on Curacao, and I've created 12 macroeconomic models which consist of data, an analytical tool, and where you can do simulations. And those 12 economies are from Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, the 8 Eastern Caribbean islands, and Curacao. So let's move to my screen. Today I want to talk to you about data. Where do I get data? And I want to show you my screen. Let me show you something which you don't think is possible. Where do I get the data? Now, I go to my screen right now and I am here, right here on the Booking.com website. And I'm showing you this website because on this website, although you can book a vacation, you can also find information. You can use this website to find information for tourism sector. So imagine you want to know what are the top locations, the top places to stay in, let's say St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Curacao, and Jamaica. You want to know how many of the top places where you can stay, how many are there, what are their prices, what are their location. You want to have that in a spreadsheet. How would you do that? Now, let me show you. I would go to this website, Booking.com, St. Lucia. Let me see. You click on St. Lucia and you want to search this. And what do you see here? You see here that there are about 250 properties on St. Lucia. 250 properties on St. Lucia. You also see the stars. So you can get the lowest price first. So you get the prices, an indication of the prices. And you can also get the information about their ratings. So entire homes and apartments, you can get this information in there. You see, so by going to this website, doing this query, if you want to see how many there are in Dominica, not Dominican Republic, search, and you will see there are 78 properties there, also ordered. So you can create this in a spreadsheet, and you can see all those properties in there, the prices also. If you want to go more deeper, what kind of prices do they offer? Because you want to create a price index, you want to calculate a price index, you could go in there and see what is the price, what is the indication of the price that you would get. Of course, you want to take a week maybe in October or a week in November for all those properties, and then you can check the availability and see that. So you can build your own price database. You can build your own location, apartment, attraction database in there. Okay, are you with me? Do you see that there are opportunities in there to use this? Now, for my Jamaican people, because I also created the Jamaican model recently, Jamaica. So we are going to Jamaica, and we're going to search how many properties are there. So 250, about 78, and then look at how many properties. So 1400 properties found. Now, it doesn't mean that all the properties are here, of course, but the most important properties are on Booking.com. You see that one? So Jamaica has much more properties, maybe 10 times, also 9 or 8 times more than Dominica. You can already see this, and you can see the price, the lowest prices, the highest prices. So you could be doing some queries about the properties with, like, say 5 rooms. Search how many of those are 5 rooms. So you could get, let me see, 5 rooms, no, 3 rooms. Search. Okay, this is not working right now, but you can see here. So you could also be building a database or an indicator based on excellent. What is it good or not in Jamaica compared to Dominica, compared to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, etc. Let's look at Curacao. How many properties are then Curacao? Is it 1400 or are there less? I think there are less. So Curacao is in between. You see 403 properties found. You could, of course, create a spreadsheet that calculates these, that takes all these names of these properties and put it into the database, and you can do some analysis with that. Let me see Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos, we already have, and Caicos, Turks and Caicos Islands, boom. Let's search in there. How many properties are there? 105 properties found. 105 properties found. So, I want to tell you that already with the internet, you can be finding information. It depends what kind of information you need. You can be finding this information by looking at normal websites that you already use, but using them for gathering data. So, in summary, if I would want to have a database of the top resorts in the Caribbean, for the Eastern Caribbean, for Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, and Curacao, I would go to Bookings.com and then use this information, gather this information, and do some analysis based on this information. Now, what is another website? Another website where you can find information is, for instance, the Central Bank. You could go to the Central Bank of Aruba, Central Bank of Curacao, Central Bank of the Eastern Caribbean, Central Bank of Jamaica, Central Bank of any other islands in the Caribbean, and then you will find information. You will find information about the balance of payments. You will find information about the exports, the imports. You will find information about the currency. You will find information about basically the external sector, how we as an island transact with the other countries in the world. Now, of course, sometimes you have the central bank also has information about the finance, so the revenues and the expenditures. The central bank also has information about the exchange rate. I already told you about the exchange rate, which is very important. The central bank has information about the foreign investments, about the loans, about the debt. So the central bank is a very important website. Now let's look at the website of the central bank. Just taking another one, and I'm looking at Central Bank Jamaica. So Central Bank Jamaica, Bank of Jamaica, and you look at the website, you see, and in the website you will already see, you understand, this is the exchange rate compared to USD. You will see, you are looking for statistics, because in the statistics part of the central bank you can download a lot of spreadsheets. In there. Okay, so this is the statistics, and you see already monetary, loans, money, external sector, like I said, the payment system, public finance and debt. You see here many information about the central bank. Now let's look at the Eastern Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. So Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, we already visited this in another episode, but you see here the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, they have this information. They have information about statistics. Again, you see here, statistics. Now what I am showing you here is how you would go if you needed to go from scratch. But as I said, I am preparing something which is unique, which will be only available for 50 people. So from all the islands in the Eastern Caribbean, Curacao, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, there are many people in those islands. All those people 18 years and older. I will calculate that number and getting you, but only for 50 of them we will be doing something. So that's why you need to go to www.caribbeanstrategicboardroom.com/waitlist, and when you go there you will be getting more information about what I'm talking about. Economic statistic, you see here, real sector, external sector, public finance. You have the monetary data here. Monetary data, the money growth, macroeconomic indicators. You have the selected macroeconomic indicators here, real GDP, population, all this information. Even cruise ships, passengers, inflation. Oh, that was another one. Inflation is very important. You will get that data. Now, you see, central bank. Central bank is a real good source. Now, another good source is the statistics department, the Central Bureau of Statistics of your island. Either any island in the world, that is where you get data. So I want to debunk the myth again that there is no data. I'm showing you in this episode where do I get the data. So Central Bureau of Statistics. Let's go to the Central Bureau of Statistics of Curacao, and I will show you where to get data. So Central Bureau Statistic, and you can do this for any island in the Caribbean. So for Curacao, you can do this for any island, and I'm showing these islands. There's 12 islands. So Central Bureau of Statistics, look at this. This is a great source of data, and the Central Bureau of Statistics, they just recently have this new database. So I want to congratulate them with this great database. But look at this, how they are using data about inflation. Look at this, inflation data. Look at how they made it more easier. Key indicators of Curacao. Look at the data, population, very well done, unemployment rate, etc. Look at, if you want to look at data for the other areas. So other areas, the economy. Okay, look at data about the economy. You can get data about the economy, household budget, etc. Now, very important to know what kind of data you have about the economy, economic articles, economic tables. So you could get data about the economic, the national accounting. So on the statistical database, on the website of the statistical organization, Central Bureau of Statistics of each island, you could get data about the national accounting. The national accounting is the national bookkeeping, where you get data about the GDP, gross domestic product, the investment. You will get data about even the exports and the imports. You can also get that data on the central bank. You can get data on the investment of the government. National accounting. Okay, the national accounting, that's important. Also, the real data. You can get the real data about the different sectors. Agriculture, about data about the construction sector, the retail, the government, different sectors. Okay, so look at the statistical website of your country. Now, if you go to statistics here, you will find all that data, statistics. You will find all the data put in there. Now, we talked also about the census. In one of these episodes, I showed you census data of Curacao, for instance, and all the islands have censuses. The census is a great survey that gives you more detailed data once every 10 years, and you will get that census publication of the statistic at the statistical office, because that is the official source of that data. You will get data about the enterprises. You will get data about the environment at the statistical office. Education, the government. You will get data about the housing. You will get data about the labor force. We don't have the labor force here. You will get data about the health. So that is another source of data which is very important, the statistical. So we already have 3 sources which are important. Just the normal websites like booking.com, the Central Bureau of Statistics, the central banks. Okay? Another area where you can get data is the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Economic Affairs. Now, the Ministry of Finance, most of the time they have the budget data and the debt data. And right now in the Caribbean, we have seen already that the debts are going up. We have done that in an episode. Look at the episode, one of the episodes before these ones. I have gone and I've seen the situation of the debt of, for instance, the Eastern Caribbean. So the debt is very important. The deficit is very important. the expenditure of the government. The government is one of the biggest players in the economies of the Caribbean, so that's why you need to have a figure information about the government. Okay, so, and the last one, the last place where I want to show you is the United Nations. The United Nations. So I could go to the United Nations, the United Nations statistics, and I can get data about the Caribbean or international data. So now let's look at United Nations, United Nations, and then statistics. Because the United Nations, there are many organizations. So United Nations Statistics Division, or UN data. You have already seen UN data. So if you want data about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, you want data about any other topic which is global data, you want to know what the global situation is regarding that topic, you can go to the United Nations Statistical Division and you will see information, the latest information. You will see a lot about methodology. You will see a lot about publications that are, and in the publications you will see the most important data, the most recent data. So if we look at data, look at this, all this data. Sustainable Development Goals, which is very important right now. Last week we had a Sustainable Development Goals week for Curacao, and hopefully in your island, on your island there is also Sustainable Development Goals. A lot of data in there, monthly bulletin of statistics, indicators, global database. I don't want to go too much about this database. The trade, we have national accounts, main aggregates, like we have seen in at the Central Bureau of Statistics, but the United Nations combines all these data and put them together for more islands. Now, why would you want that? Why would you want to have for other islands or for other regions, for United States, for Europe? Because you are living in the Caribbean, but we are trading with the United States. We are trading with Europe. We are, on the other hand, we are receiving tourists from United States, from Europe, any of the islands, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Eastern Caribbean islands, Curacao. We have to monitor the situation outside. That's why we want to know what is happening at the United Nations level. So population data sets. You see, we produce the censuses and then we combine them and send them to the United Nations. Population demographic yearbook system, minimum set of gender indicators. These are all kind of data. And at the United Nations, you will find also definitions about what you need to have in place. So, as a data, as a policy advisor, as somebody maybe doing research, as somebody doing research at the Ministry of Finance, Statistical Office, maybe you are working for a labor union, but you are doing analysis about the economy, this is the place where you can get data. United Nations, you can get a lot of data. So, let me show you the social media where you can link with me. So you have seen today where I find my data. I've shown you a couple of places, for instance booking.com, the central bank. I've shown you the Central Bureau of Statistics, Ministry of Finance, and also I have shown you United Nations. So I want to debunk the myth that there is no data for the Caribbean. for the Eastern Caribbean, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Curacao. I've shown you many data sources. I want to recap all those places, the websites where you see where you see the data. You can also have their publications. For the national account, there is a national account publication. For the situation, for instance, IMF, we have not covered IMF today. There is the Article 4. I have shown you earlier. For the United Nations, there are many annual publications, and that is the place where to get them. So not only the website statistical division, that's the first place, but you can also find the publications, and the publication will give you more data, more context, etc. So you have pretty much a lot of data, what is happening in there. It might be a little bit confusing, all this data. I have something great for you, and I'm preparing something great. That's why I want you to get in CaribbeanStrategicBoardroom.com/waitlist, and you will be the first one to hear about it. Now look at the name, Caribbean Strategic Boardroom. Wouldn't you want to be in that Caribbean Strategic Boardroom community, waiting for something? Caribbean Strategic Boardroom is about strategic decisions. It's about, why did I call it Caribbean Strategic Boardroom? Why did I call it a boardroom? A boardroom is where decisions are taken. A boardroom is where the high-level people sit and have a vision, implement that vision, implement programs, talk about policy, talk about what's going to happen. Caribbean Strategic. Why strategic? It's not only operational. It's not only how are we going to pay the people this month, how are we going to spend the COVID people, how are we going to think about the deficit, the current problems, etc. It is strategic. It is the long term. It's also short term, but also long term vision, long term thinking, using data, using analysis, and creating the right policies, presenting the right policies. So that's if that's the place you want to be. If you want to hear more about that place, then just go to the wait list. And I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow around 4 o'clock, where we will be debunking another myth about data. So let me know what you think about this data, and let me know. Now, I want you to share this episode on your list. So don't only like it, don't only like what I said, but also share this thing on your wall. Because it doesn't take you anything to share, just one click, but I will be greatly thankful if you share this episode. So that was the episode. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye.